artists from outside of the area, not even just in rap, but in R&B, pop music. You hear the Miami influences, and it's crazy that we've contributed to the world like that, even if we don't get the credit for it necessarily. But.
Yeah, because I remember I was hearing Tiger had the Nan Nigga sample on one of his last albums, and then ASAP Ferg, he had like a JT Money the Who That sample.
I heard that the other day. Actually.
And like with them, with the whole mob, like they always show respect to the South, because in that era, in the time when we was all growing up, we was exposed to so many other like music. Like down here, we was exposed to the East Coast, West Coast, but growing up, them kids was also exposed to like the Miami, Atlanta, Houston music and stuff like that. So.
And, back in the day, it was JT Money and Poison Clan and Luke, and then that turned into Trick Daddy, then Pitbull and Ross and Flow Rider came. So Miami's always been in the cut, damn near. Like we've never really exploded out like how Atlanta did, how New York did at first. The West Coast, Chicago. I feel like we had got there about a year or two back. Where the spotlight was on Miami. You had Denzel popping, you had Zoe. They was all making their moves and shit. Shout out to them boys. But I feel like it ain't explode the way that it should have.
Why you think so? Because I always ask myself that all the time. Like we got all these artists and stuff.
I'll say this. That's the closest we got to it, because I've even seen Iceberg say Miami pops, artist pops out of Miami once every 10 years.
Yeah, it's true.
So like 06 was Ross, you feel me, and Pitt and Flow Rider. Now 16, 15, 17, you had like Denzel, Zoe, Pump. So I don't know why. I mean, I think we got the closest we ever got to like really fully popping off as a city, but we missed the mark on it, and I don't really know what it is. I think part of it is that we don't really have that unity like that. It's better now, compared to when I came into it a couple years back, where if we wasn't boys, we ain't fuck with each other. And that's just a mentality everybody had. And I have that mentality naturally, just being from the hood, being from the streets and shit. I'm kind of like that, but I always treated the music like a business, so I knew that I couldn't be on that bullshit. So I would reach out. I would do my part to support the show, support people's music and all that, and it kind of would give me the cold shoulder a lot. So I was like, fuck it, man, I'm gonna be like the rest of y'all. But then I noticed like it got better, but we still don't have the scene unified as a whole. Like people work with who they're tight with. They don't really branch out too much. And like when I first worked with Art, I knew of him, but it was more of like a reaching out. Like I had the beat for Downtown, and I heard the instrumental. I was like, yo, the way he sings on hooks, yo, kill that. Let me send it out to you. We got it like that. Prez P and Flow Kid, like I was telling you before, like I'd click up with them before from shows and shit. You feel me? And just being I might go to one person's video shoot, they was also there, or I might go to like an 8 or 9 event, they was there, so we got tight like that. Then once I heard the Empty Spaces beat, I was like, yo, this is Prez and Flow Kid all day, you feel me? So I had him hop on that. So I never really work with people on like just, we tight, we cool. Like if I fuck with your music and what you doing artistically, that's all it takes.
But don't you think like it could be like favoritism as well? Because it's like I still feel that I mean, ain't nothing wrong with having a circle and things like that. But at the same time, like especially coming from Miami, we in the bottom. Like I was talking to DJ EFN. I don't know if you know.
Bro, that's like my mentor in this whole shit, to be real. He was back then when everybody was like, nah, I ain't really. Nobody would even tell me like directly, like, nah, I don't fuck with you. I ain't trying to fuck with you. It was more like, all right, yeah, for sure, homie, we gonna work, we gonna build and all that. EFN kind of took me under his wing when Mayday was doing their thing locally. He was showing me like, yo, you need to talk to this person, stay away from this person. When you start dropping your music, this is how you do it. This is how you reach out to the promoters and shit like that for shows. So he really taught me a lot. Him and UB from THC Crew, or Maybach Latino as they got to be known. Them two dudes were like OGs to me in this music shit. They kind of took me under their wing when they didn't even have to. They didn't even know me like that. But they just saw like, the shit I was trying to do.
Yeah, man. Cause like the same people mess with the same people, and I'm like, when I pay attention to like the Houston and Atlanta, and I'm just speaking from a southern aspect, is that you can have problems with someone, but you'll still work with them because of the fact that we all going for that same goal. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like when I heard Jeezy and Gucci was on that track a few years ago, because everybody knew about that beef.
Yeah, and that was real. That was real beef. That wasn't no
like people died doing that beef. You know what I'm saying? Like it was something that was like real, but they was like, you know what? Past of the past. We was young. We trying to get this money. You know
it ain't worth destroying what they building and shit. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, we are. It's a rapper ego thing. We all got them, to a certain extent. But for some reason, we got them really bad down here. Like people, even outside of music, like Miami's a very egotistical place. Like people think very highly of themselves. So I've seen cases where, somebody will want to collab with somebody, but they'll be like, nah, they not on my level. I can't fuck with them yet. And then that person ends up being the one turning up and really, getting it and doing their thing. And the other person who was like, I ain't trying to fuck with them, they try to come running back. And it's like, nah, bro, do your shit.
Yeah, that's my thing, bro. Like, it's real, because, like, as a DJ, and, like, when I reached out to people for my podcast,
Oh, I'm sure you've been through it.
Yeah, I've been through it since I was 15, like, as a DJ, and even with, like, trying to build my show. And it's like, you doing your thing, I'm speaking about like the artists that's, kind of big headed, but like, be humble, man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm humble, but I'm like, for example, you got you, ER 305, like, you're known. You're an underground artist down here, but you're like known.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have these other people that's like, they bubbling and stuff like that, but coming from people like you and DJ EFN and a few other people that reached out back to me and like through the podcast, I'm like, that's how I should be, man. Like,
I thought as soon as you hit me, I was like, yeah, let's do it. Fuck it, I ain't gonna put on, I ain't gonna be like, oh yeah, we'll get to it. Nah, fuck that, let's do it. Let's do it ASAP. You feel me? Man. And like, that's how I am with a lot of shit. Like, if I want to work with you, I'm gonna reach out to you that one time. If I see that you half stepping, I'm already gonna be like, nah, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because we can't waste time either, bro. Like I be telling people, that's the one thing I don't fuck with is wasting time.
Yeah.
I could lose money on behind this shit.
Yeah.
Burn a bridge, whatever it is, what it is. But just don't waste time with it.
Yeah.
Even if we burn bridges, but we learn from each other, we both soaked up game from each other. That's cool. It wasn't a waste of time. You taught me some shit I ain't know. I taught you some shit you didn't know. You feel me? Like, I was gonna say, like, with the whole being humble shit, man, like, I'm aware of my skill set, you feel me? And I'm not saying that on some cocky shit, like, I just know, like, it's like me telling you, yeah, this is glass right here, you feel me? Like, it is what it is. I've accomplished what I've accomplished. It's not in a big-headed way, it's just, I've been blessed to be able to do that, you feel me? So I'm humble about it because I know that it ain't have to happen that way. I know that, I could have been sitting on SoundCloud with like 2 plays and shit.
Yeah.
So that's like when you reached out to me, I was like, shit, man. Like, I know we ain't know each other personally, but I've been following you online for a minute.
Yeah, because I knew of you. Like,
the fact that you even reached out to me, and I had already been following you from the mixtape that you was doing. I was like, hell yeah, let's do this shit.
Yeah, man. Because that's another thing too. Like, for me, one of the few DJs, we trying to bring back the mixtape game because about 10 years ago, maybe 6 to 10 years ago, like the mixtape game was like on top.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has something to do with streaming, but
streaming to knock everything off. Gee, shit.
What you think about streaming?
Personally, I mean, I respect it because, you got to adapt to die. You got to everything evolves, you feel me? Like, we went from records to cassettes to CDs to MP3s. Now we streaming the shit on clouds, you feel me? But, like, I like it because at the same time, it kind of eliminates the walls and the gatekeepers and tastemakers and all that shit. You have a way of putting it in the store the same way Atlantic does, the same way Def Jam does, the same way all the major labels and all the major influencers do. My problem with it, from an artist perspective, is the pay rate of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, before streaming, before I was in the mix, back in the mixtape days and shit, back in the CD days, especially if you was indie, bro, you getting $8 or $10 a CD. You ain't had to sell that much. You feel me? Now with streaming on Spotify, for example, that's really like the main one. You got Apple Music. You got SoundCloud, which is free. You don't really get paid off of that. You have Deezer. You got all these shit. But Spotify is really where the main one, where people are going in and listening to your music. I know that's definitely the case for me and the case of people that I chopped it up with and shit. But let's say you listen to my track on Spotify. If you have a premium account, you pay for your Spotify. Every stream you give me, you paying me 0.007 cents. You feel me? If you got a free account, you paying me 0.004. You know what I'm saying? Cents a stream. So it's like, unless you bringing in hundreds of millions of plays, there's no livelihood in that. You know, which I'm gonna do music regardless. Like I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the clout. I don't do it for fame. I do it because I really love it. You feel me? It's my passion. But it makes it harder in that aspect to be able to not only make a living off of it, but just be able to flip the money that you do make back into your business to do bigger and better things. So, you know, I have to go outside of music to find ways to get bread and keep building my brand as ER305, as my label, you know, with High Rollers Enterprise and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because what I do get off of royalties at this point, to be real, you know, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I ain't one of these niggas out here bullshit. what I do make off of royalties off of Spotify and Apple and YouTube, I'm throwing that right back into the music. That ain't even hitting my pocket. That's hitting my LLC's bank account, and it's like, all right, which you know, what promo company I gotta pay this week? Which Spotify curator I gotta pay to put my shit on a big playlist so that I can get the exposure. That's, I mean, it's all about marketing and exposure at this point. You know what I'm saying? My wifey, you know, she works in social media influencing and social media marketing. So I'm seeing firsthand the traits, the patterns.
So she working the
she's gonna start working my shit now, but I've always just kept my operation to myself, and like I oversee everything. Like I sleep about 4 hours a day off of music. You feel me? Like, but she's taught me like, yo, this is how the inner workings of this really works. Like through her and through me sitting with people that work at labels and, you know, sitting with a label at one point, it taught me that nothing in entertainment is a mistake. Nothing's a fluke. Nobody blew up just on some organic shit. That does not exist. You feel me?
You gotta market yourself.
You gotta market yourself. You gotta pay top dollar to marketing companies and to influencers, and just like the labels do. The only advantage they got over you as an artist is that they got the money. They're the bank. You know what I'm saying? Like a record deal, all that shit is a loan. So, you know, it's really a matter of being able to finance your own career, because there's a way for everybody. You know, you could not like what I do. There's definitely a market that does. I cannot like what you do, but there's definitely a market for what you do. So there's room for everybody to eat. But getting to the point where we're eating is hard because of what streaming has done. But like I said, you gotta evolve or die. If you don't adapt, you're gonna drown in this shit. You feel me? So you can't be mad at it. It's like Netflix and Blockbuster. It ain't no different. It's technology. It's the world we living in.
You gotta go by like what's now. You know,
exactly.
It's sad, but you start noticing even in video games and stuff like that, they using like streaming services. You know,
bro, you gonna laugh. I'm just now copping the PS4 literally yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I walked into Best Buy, you know, with my shorty just to get a SD card that she needed, and we walk out that bitch with a PS4. You know what I'm saying? And dog, like I ain't play a video game. I ain't gonna lie to you since like San Andreas, which came out when I was in high school. You feel me? So after I graduated, I got straight to work. You feel me? Like I had to make things happen, but shit was so crazy. Like there's no more memory cards. There ain't no more cables on the controllers. It's all wireless. It's all cloud. You feel me? Like even if I want to play you don't even got to leave your crib. Just look up my name. You know what I'm saying? Buy the game if you ain't got it. And we get to it.
What's your username on the PS4?
Hey, somebody out there used ER305. I don't know why. Yeah, so if you want to look me up on PSN, just look me up at the real ER305.
All right, so I'm gonna add you, bro.
For sure.
On there, I'm like King Mobley 305.
All right,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna look you up when I get back to the crib now. But yeah, man, like we gotta adapt. New technology, like the way I do it at this point. Just the fact that Spotify is able to pay me or I'm able to get paid off of it. I'm able to get paid off of Apple as an independent artist without having to have somebody take a cut out of my shit. You know?